Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Happy Wednesday to you all. Today we are going to create a card with the Spellbinders. Be Bold Color Block Happy Birthday. Now this is large. It's meant to fit a slimline card. And so I thought we would make another happy birthday. You can never have too many birthday cards. And so I thought this would be really fun to make a fancied up birthday card. There's 2 dies in this set. And we're going to start off by doing a little bit of die cutting. When you die cut this panel, it's going to die cut out all the letters and then the negative pieces in between. So we need some cardstock. Since we are making a slimline card, what I'm going to do is go ahead and create my card base. I'm going to grab my scoreboard here. And my scoring tool, and I score. This is just a regular sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I score at the 3.5 inch mark, and then I fold it over, reinforce that score line, and then what I do is take my paper trimmer and I trim it again at the 3.5 inch mark, and then I have my card base, and then I also have an extra piece of cardstock which will work perfect for die cutting out that that birthday background. So this is going to give me a card base that measures 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And I'm going to reinforce this a little bit more because my cardstock's pretty thick and it likes to open up. I'm going to take my birthday, put my cardstock over it, and this is going to fit perfectly through a Platinum 6 machine or basically any die cutting machine. Okay, all my pieces die cut out, and I kind of have them scattered, so what we're going to do is spell out birthday so we know what we're doing. And I'm going to take the rest and just put these in my little trash bin. Now I also die cut out the same background die with Spellbinders pop-up die cutting foam. And I'm going to do a little ink blending with our cardstock. And so we're going to use some Distress Oxide inks, and I'm going to start off with Chipped Sapphire. Now I just want to go from bottom and do a gradient to where the top is white. So to do that, I think the best thing to use is my finger daubers. My first color is Chipped Sapphire, and I think I'm going to get some. I need a little blending mat, so I think I'm going to use this here, and I'm going to start from the bottom because that's going to be a more intense color, and just using my finger dauber I'm going to kind of trail up. Now the bottom of this is going to be covered, so I'm not too concerned about how smooth that looks, but I do want to make sure it's kind of a real intense, about 1/2 inch up and going up towards the top of the letter, kind of fading out. There we go. Now again, I'm going to cover the bottom with something, so I'm not worried about that bottom area. So from about here up, start your little blending. So there's my bee. Good to go. Okay, now that my letters are done, I kind of skipped through the shading because it's basically the same thing, but I will tell you the colors of Oxide inks that I used. Once more, this is Chipped Sapphire, Mowed Lawn, Worn Lipstick, Scattered Straw, Broken China, Candied Apple, Seedless Preserves, and then we went back again with Scattered Straw once more. So these are our letters. Now what we're going to do to cover up this bottom, I'm going to bring in some Spellbinders Gold Mirror cardstock. If you haven't tried this, I think you're really going to like it. Now I was playing around with this and found that this tears beautifully. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and kind of tear it from the bottom, because I like that. You see how it leaves the white edge? That's what I want. But I'm going to go kind of up and down, and some highs and some lows. And once I am happy, and you can save this. Once I'm happy with this, you can see if you have if you flip it around, there's no white cardstock showing. So I want the white to show. And what I'm going to do is take that die, my birthday die, and I'm going to line this up so it's face down, and I'm actually going to lightly tack it to the die cutting plate so it doesn't shift. And then we're going to run this through the die cutting machine. So the bottom of the letters will have some gold. Let me show you. Some gold. Remember that white side I showed you is facing down. Okay, I went through and took away most of the negative pieces, guys. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and add the gold to the bottom of here, and we're going to use some I think we're going to use our tape runner for this. So we're going to add adhesive to the bottom of all the letters, and we'll start with the B. I'm going to grab my tool in one. Remove that. Okay, let's flip it around, and I'm going to add a little gold to the bottom of the B, and then to the I. And last but not least, we're going to add our Y and set this aside. So we have some real pretty gold tones on the bottom. I just love the way that looks, especially with the torn edge. After we have this done, I'm going to go ahead and flip these around. And I'm going to use my glue for this. And I'm going to adhere the fun foam behind each one of the letters. We want a little bit of dimension. And glue is the best way to do this. I'm going to go ahead and use the plate that we used to weigh these down so they dry nice and flat. And this is kind of on the heavy side, so that's going to work out good. While those are drying, now I'm going to die cut out the word happy, but I wanted to add a little bit of extra sparkle. So you could do this two ways. If you have some glitter cardstock, you could use that, but I have some washi tape just sitting in my drawer. I'm going to use washi tape. Just going to line two together. I've did this before and I forgot how much I like it. Maybe do a little more on the bottom. And then I can take my happy and I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. I'm also going to die cut out some foam adhesive so we can layer our letters on some foam too. And it die cuts beautifully. You can't even tell there is washi tape. It looks like glitter, but it's no shed, which is really nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and layer my foam behind my letters and our Y again. It seems like we're always ending in Y. Okay. And I think that looks pretty and it's going to give me the dimension that I want for my happy. For my background, I have this is 8.5 by 3.5 of tin pale cardstock. Now I don't know if Spellbinders still sells this or not, but it's a very pale gray. I just wanted some contrast between the white, and so we're going to use the tin pale cardstock. Now I'm going to be using an embossing folder from Spellbinders. It has the polka dots on it. I think polka dots and birthday just go good together. I'm going to line this up and run this through my Platinum 6 so we have a polka dot background. There's my polka dots. Now let's assemble our card. I'm going to take my polka dot background, just using my tape runner. I'm going to slightly tack that closed. I'm going to add this to my card base, and it's going to cover the entire card front. Now we're going to go ahead and add our birthday. Let's add some more sparkle. So if you want to go ahead and skip the sparkle and add this to your card base, you could, but I'm going to add some sparkle because I think birthday cards need a lot of sparkle. Let's take some cardstock. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit of glazing with my glazing glue, which I've never used it as glue, but I bet it works fabulous. And I think I need to fix this so it comes out a little bit better. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to go over the top, and I'm kind of making it look almost like drips. I'm not being really particular with it, only because we have that torn edge on the bottom, and I'm kind of going for that same look. So just in the white areas, just add a little bit of the glazing glue, because you probably know what I'm going to do next, because I like doing this effect. Now let's break out the sparkle cuts. I love this because it has an iridescent tone to it, and it's subtle but sparkly. And I'm just going to add a little bit over the top. And again, if you don't like to mess with glitter, you could completely skip this step, but I think it's going to look wonderful. Okay, let's do a little tapping. Okay, for the most part, looking good. I know I'm probably going to have to reuse my little vacuum, only because it's not completely dry yet. But we're going to go ahead and continue and adhere these to our Slimline card. And I'm just going to use glue. And again, this will cover the entire card front. So I'm just butting it all the way off to the left side here. Nice thing about glue is you have a little wiggle room. How fun is that? Now I'm going to take my happy, and I think I want to put this on vellum. I love the font of this. I love the loopies. I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors, and I'm going to fussy cut around the happy. Okay, once I have my outline, I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I want to add some adhesive behind it. And then we can add this over. Hoping it's straight. Now we have a whole bunch of colorful gems that we can sparkle with our background. So let's just go crazy and add a confetti filled background. For Broken China, we're going to add the aquamarine. I think this is such a pretty color. Lovely. And then, of course, our Candied apple, we're going to use just our red gems. Okay. And I don't need any more bells and whistles because it's pretty loaded. And I think it's fancy, and I think it's gonna make anybody celebrate. What do you think? Thanks for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. I hope you get a chance to check out this collection. I'll leave the entire collection down below. These are such fun die sets too. I think there is more of the color block series. So be sure to check that out. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you.